boys and girls. Thank you for tuning in to KHRT News. I have our special guest with us. We have
Mr. Martinez,
Miss Dutchover,
and you know me, Miss Trejo. So I am going to interview these two amazing people here at our campus. You know that Mr. Martinez is the
assistant principal,
and Mrs. Dutchover is the
third grade teacher.
Awesome. So I'm going to ask them some questions about their college experience, and they're going to answer it the best way they can. Here we go. First question is, where did you attend college?
We both went to St. Edward's University here in Austin, Texas.
Yes, sir.
Here in Austin, Texas. So next question is, what made you all interested in going to college?
Well, my parents didn't go to college, and it was always a really big push in my house. My family talked about sending us to college all the time. Before my sister and I went, I only had one other cousin that graduated from SWT, so it was a goal of mine.
Same here. I was actually the first in my family to go to college, and I'm very thankful to say that after I went, I had maybe 6 or 7 family members attend after me, so really proud.
That is amazing. So I love how you decided to set that goal, like you said, Ms. Dutchover. And not only that, they persevered, right? They worked hard towards it, got there. Oh, that goes into one of the questions. Next question is, what was their mascot at their school?
Well, we're hilltoppers. We're like UT, but better. You got to curve those horns.
All right, hilltoppers, can you all do that? Let's see them do it again.
Okay, we're like UT, but better.
All right, so there's a little curve there. Did y'all get that? Awesome. Next question is, what type of degree did they earn when they completed their program?
So I got an education degree with a social studies major.
I also was an education degree.
Awesome. Well, that's why they're here today, right? Because they got those education degrees. Amazing. Now, next question is, did they live on campus? I think you remember at the last interview, we talked about how at some schools you can live there at their school. They have something called dorms. So I want to know if they lived on campus, and if so, what was that like?
So I lived on campus my freshman year in college, and I lived in an all-girl dorm that's no longer there. It was called Doyle Hall, and it was amazing. It was like a big camp experience. There were bunk beds, and I had a brand new roommate. I had to wash my own clothes and make my own food. It was a big learning experience.
Awesome.
So I lived next door at Fremont Hall, which was all boys. And it was pretty stinky because it's all boys. But you did learn to take care of yourself, wash your clothes, eat whenever you were hungry, and go to sleep on time, wake up on time, and go to class.
Mr. Martinez, did you ever get involved with the skunks that lived in the back of Fremont and Doyle Halls? Do you remember? The trash was there, and there was a skunk city. It was amazing.
We actually got those skunks and gave them a forever home down the street.
They relocated the skunks, guys. All right, next question. Were you in any activities or clubs while you attended college?
Yeah, I was actually in the University Programming Board, which was one of the biggest clubs at St. Edward's that took care of all the fun stuff, like getting festivals together, booking bands, and pretty much got the fun atmosphere in college.
I kind of was the opposite because my parents kind of struggled to get me through college. I worked a lot, so I went to school in the morning and I ended up getting jobs in the afternoon, so I babysat a lot. I was a part of AmeriCorps as a college student, and I was in the classroom. I was an aide for a teacher in Houston Elementary, and I worked there for a couple of years. I just had a lot of jobs because I was just trying to make myself a living through college.
That's amazing. A lot of different experiences that made Mrs. Dutchover and Mr. Martinez who they are today. Now they're already looking ahead at the next question and they're thinking about what they're going to say. But I'm going to go ahead and ask it anyway. All right. So what was the best thing about going to college?
Okay. So to me, I think the best thing was I got to meet a lot of different people from all over the world. And it opened up my experiences to different cultures, to different type of people, different type of living styles. And I made lifelong friends in college, and we had a lot of good times. So it was very fun.
I also, like Mr. Martinez said, I made a lot of lifelong friends. I met my husband at college, and I also got my first job. So because I was a student teacher and I got my teaching degree, I was able to start teaching before I graduated from college. So I actually taught at the school right across the street from my college. So that was an awesome experience because I was still very connected to my college.
Awesome. What is something that you were interested in as a kid that made it helpful and exciting for you to learn more about it when you got to college?
Making lots of money. No, I'm just kidding. I think I wanted to be able to get out of my hometown and experience First of all, I grew up in a small town, so I came to Austin, which is a way bigger city. And I think just the experience of living on your own and seeing if you can make it on your own without your parents' help was like the biggest thing for me. And it made me a better person, and I grew from it.
But I know you were also into like social studies and stuff when you were younger, right? So did you take classes like that when you were in college?
So I do love history a lot, and so that kind of drove me to study history in college. And it was really interesting to see how our world comes together even though we're so far apart. And I won't spoil it for you so that when you get to college you get to learn about all of that, but that's what kind of drove me to choose social studies as one of my majors.
So I've worked with children since I was little. I started babysitting when I was 14, so I always had a passion for children and for teaching. So I went to college with the idea that I was going to be a teacher. I had a lot of learning needs as well, so I chose a smaller college to make sure that all of my learning needs were met, and I got really close to my teachers, and I was very successful.
There you go, boys and girls. You heard it. They were very successful in college, and because they stuck through, because they continued, because they persevered, they are here today as your assistant principal and a third grade teacher. So give them a round of applause, and thank you for tuning in to KHRT News.